Greetings, this is Angelus de Mortiel with a beginner guide to Dragon Age Inquisition Multiplayer. As I have noticed a large degree of confusion and unfortunately missing, misleading, or outright incorrect tooltips between the game and the community, I decided to make a few basics videos outlining mechanics that are not clearly defined. Please note these videos were made with the game version 1.07 or patch 6. So if watching this video later, some mechanics and or bugs may have been fixed or altered. The first 3 beginner's guides will be about attributes, terminology, and theorycraft. This will be your crash course in all things Dragon Age Inquisition Multiplayer. This first video in particular will deal with character attributes and some basic mechanics. First, let's start with character attributes. Each of the 3 base classes, Warrior, Rogue, Mage, each have a primary and secondary attribute. The primary attribute is more custom tailored to that class, whereas the secondary attribute is generally useful for that class, but also universally usable by any other class. Each of these attributes have 2 effects. Primary attributes have 2 offensive effects, whereas secondary attributes have an offensive and a defensive effect. The warrior's primary attribute is strength. Each point of strength grants a 0.5% bonus to attack specifically for warriors, and also grants a 1% bonus damage to guard. The warrior's secondary attribute is constitution. Each point of constitution grants 5 health and 0.5% melee defense. The rogue's primary attribute is dexterity. Each point of dexterity grants a 0.5% bonus to attack specifically for rogues, and also grants a 1% critical damage bonus. The rogue's secondary attribute is cunning. Each point of cunning grants 0.5% to critical chance and 0.5% range defense. The mage's primary attribute is magic. Each point of magic grants a 0.5% bonus to attack for mages specifically, and also grants 1% bonus damage to barrier. The mage's secondary attribute is willpower. Each point of willpower grants a 0.5% bonus to attack for any class, and 0.5% magic defense. Each character at level 1 starts with 10 points in all attributes. This means that each class starts out with 10% attack bonus, 5% from the class-specific primary attribute, and 5% bonus from willpower, 10 points to health, 5% critical chance, 5% melee range and magic defense, 10% bonus damage to guard and barrier, and 10% critical damage bonus stacked on top of the normal 40% critical damage bonus. Additionally, each time you promote a class, the Inquisition gains +1 to that class's secondary attribute, meaning that all multiplayer classes gain that bonus. This means promoting warriors grants constitution for all classes, rogues grant cunning, and mages grant willpower. With the character attributes handled, let's cover some damage basics. Get ready, I'm about to throw something confusing at you. Damage is generally calculated by taking the base damage, randomized slightly between 95 and 105%, subtract the effective armor of the target, which is base armor of the target less any armor penetration or sundering effects, then subsequently multiplying ability modifier, critical damage plus flank attack bonuses, attack plus other damage bonuses, then finally adjust for any type of resistances, if applicable. There are 5 damage types: physical, fire, ice, electric, and spirit. The damage type can be seen in the color of the damage numbers that appear above the head of your target. Red equals physical, orange equals fire, light blue equals ice, purple equals electric, and yellow equals spirit. Debilitating status effects include poisoned, sundered, burning, chilled, shocked, and weakened. Poison damages over time, ignoring armor. Sundered reduces enemy armor. Burning inflicts fire damage over time. Chilled slows enemy movement. Shocked reduces enemy elemental resistances. And Weaken reduces enemy attack by 15%, but that can be expounded with the Rift Mage passives. Disabling status effects include stunned, panicked, frozen, paralyzed, or asleep. But there's a special note on there. While panicked is not technically a disabling effect because it does not prime cross-class combos, it does alter the actions of enemies like the other 4 disabler effects and unlike the debilitator effects, albeit it does it in a different way. Disabling effects prime enemies for combos, aside from panic like I just said, and each has an affinity to one of the 3 base classes. Warriors for stunned, rogues for asleep, and mages for frozen/paralyzed. Each class also has a designated detonator ability, impact for warriors, precision for rogues, and eldritch for mages. If a disabling effect is combined with a detonator from the same class, you get a basic combo that has a moderate damage bonus. If a disabling effect from one class, however, is combined with a detonator from another class, this creates a powerful cross-class combo. The cross-class combos are as followed. If you combine Stun with Eldritch, you get the Weakened combo. This deals 1,200% spirit weapon damage and inflicts Weakened on the enemies. Stun or Asleep combined with Precision or Impact means a Rupture combo, which deals somewhere between 500 and 700% physical weapon damage over time, which is about 4 ticks of damage, and it ignores armor. Asleep mixed with Eldritch gives you the Nightmare combo, which deals 800% spirit weapon damage and inflicts Panicked. Frozen plus an impact or precision detonator gives you the Shattered combo, which deals somewhere between 190 and 550% ice weapon damage and inflicts Chilled. Paralyze plus, again, an impact or precision detonator will also give you the Discharge combo, which deals 300% electric weapon damage and inflicts Shocked, and has an AoE knockdown. I should note that because each of these is aligned to a specific class does not mean that you will not occasionally see a different class with that effect. Prime examples include the Templar having Spell Purge, which is an Eldritch detonator, usually defined for mages, or the Elementalist having Stone Fist, which is an impact detonator, usually designed for warriors. Now there is one last combo of these that is not reliant on primers and detonators, but rather combining debilitating status effects. If you apply Shocked and Weaken to an enemy in any order, it will inflict the Asleep disabling status effect on the enemy. I like to think of this as a counterbalance to the fact that only 2 rogue abilities inflict Asleep compared to the handful of Stunned, Frozen, and Paralyzed abilities that are more readily available. But that's just my thought. This is the first guide covering the basics of Dragon Age Inquisition Multiplayer. There are a lot more effects and mechanics to cover, but that will be saved for another guide, because there is a lot. For the time being, this will serve as a solid first guide from which to build. To veteran players, please refrain from posting information about other mechanics or bugs not in this guide. I will cover that in another guide. Please remember, this is designed to be an introduction for newer players, not a bug or theory craft discussion about what is better or what is not working. If you are a newer player and have a question, feel free to comment here and the answer will come rather quickly. On a side note, mad respect goes out to Asian Rice Puff on BSN for doing a ton of ongoing testing to get hard empirical facts about the literal effect of various attributes and mechanics. As always, if you enjoyed the video or just have something to say, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Once again, this is Angelus de Mortiel, signing off.